Hey guys, Happy New Year and welcome to 2025. And thank you so much for joining me for another monthly net worth update. This one is going to be for December 2024, and we're going to wrap up the year. So we're going to go through my goals from the previous year, how I did, and set some new ones. So let's go ahead and jump right into the numbers. My net worth at the end of November was $133,336. The equity that I have in the condo I own here is $60,278. So we've just passed that $60,000 mark this month. That is an increase from last month of $457. My RRSP, Registered Retirement Savings Plan, sits at $63,006. So this is a slight increase of $271. The one thing I will mention about this is that I did put 2,000 Canadian dollars into this account this month, but the market hasn't been doing all that great in the last couple of weeks. So we're seeing a little bit of a dip, even though I added quite a bit of funds into it this month. My DCPP, or Defined Contribution Pension Plan, sits at $4,691. That is a slight decrease of $140 from November. My cash account sits at $4,115. This is a pretty big dip of $1,834. Again, this is because I moved $2,000 out of my cash account into my RRSP, and then of course put it in the investment that I put all of my money in, which is the Vanguard All Equity Fund, otherwise known as VEQT. And that brings our grand total net worth for December for the end of 2024 to $132,090. This is a decrease from November of $1,246. Even though I moved a bit of money around and made some investments, the markets just weren't being all that kind in December. So we can see a little bit of a dip this month. Now moving on to income for December, I made, as per usual, 500 Canadian dollars in rental income. I also made $365 in YouTube AdSense. And then for my main full-time job, I made 2,484 Canadian dollars. That brings the grand total income for December to $3,349. And moving on to expenses, as per every month, my rent is $1,750. My insurances, which includes car insurance, came to $222. About $137 of that is my vehicle insurance, by the way, if you haven't seen these videos before. I spent $287 on groceries, $70 in gas, $37 on my phone plan, $45 on internet, $561 on entertainment. Again, with December, with the holidays, it was a very busy month. I did a lot of going out, buying things for future events because there were a lot of last minute sales or Boxing Day sales over the holidays. So I'm seeing this creep up a little bit more than I would like it to. That is definitely something I want to work on in the new year, but we're going to get into all of that in a little bit. I spent $427 in my miscellaneous category. This included things like home artwork. Goofy had her food, which is about $130 every few months. And I also bought her a couple of items like an automatic feeder and this water fountain thing. So my expenses in this category are definitely higher than I would like them to be. I typically set this at about $150 a month. So yeah, we had a little bit more spending in December, that's for sure. I also spent $175 on Christmas gifts. So that brings our grand total expenses for December to $3,574. So I didn't end up saving anything in December. I just moved some of my previous savings into my retirement accounts, but I'm hoping in the next few months we'll be able to put a little bit more money aside for future travels. So let's talk about the year in review, 2024. Where did I start? Where did I end up? What were the goals I set last year? How am I doing? We're gonna start with net worth because that is my favorite number to track. So my net worth in January last year, January 2023, was $121,420. And you can see my net worth at the end of last month was $132,090 in December. So that is a pretty substantial increase of $10,670. Now, a good chunk of that is coming from the equity that went into the property that I own, with my tenants paying rent and all of that over the last year. But I was surprised that this number was over 10,000 and super happy because I haven't really been working full time the full year and I haven't been making a ton of money either. So this is absolutely fantastic. My first goal in 2024 that I set for myself was to basically just enjoy the remaining travels that I had at the time. I was living in New Zealand and had a few trips planned to Australia, as well as like a 2-week cruise that went through the South Pacific to islands like Fiji and Hawaii. And I think I did pretty good at this. I did enjoy this as much as possible. One thing I will say is that the last few months in New Zealand, I really could have done more. I stopped doing certain things because I didn't want to spend money. I didn't want to dip further into my savings than I wanted to. And I was running out of cash pretty quickly. But looking back, I really wish that I had have done more traveling. I wish that I had have done a few of the trips that I wanted to do while I was still there that I was kind of like debating. The biggest one was going back to Wellington and taking a road trip into Tongariro National Park and doing the hike there and seeing some more of the southern part of the North Island. This is of course a reason for me to go back in the future, but if I could go back, I would definitely spend the money and see the things I wanted to see while I was already there. The second goal I set for myself in 2024 was to get settled back in Canada. I feel like I've done pretty good at this, although I will be moving again in a few months, hopefully back to the condo that I own here. There's still a few details to figure out, but I'm hoping this is going to be like one of the last moves I ever have to do in my life. I'm getting kind of sick of packing up and moving around. Of course, after living out of suitcases for essentially a year, it's just been nice to have one place to come to and to have all my things and to actually start building like a permanent life somewhere again. So I've done pretty good at this, but I do want to focus on this in 2025 and make sure that I am happy in the space that I'm living. The third goal I had for myself in 2024 was to save $5,000. I ended up saving about $6,000 and then spent $1,500 on my van. So I think I did pretty good at this. I saved a little more than I wanted to or thought I would. So that's definitely a win. Now moving into my 2025 goals. So the number one thing I have on this is to just kind of lean into my gentleness and kindness and opening up to people. I haven't been the best at this in my life, and I just want to cultivate more relationships, more friendships, and getting to know people, and just being more of a genuine person and not keeping those walls so high. That's something I really would like to work on this year. And I'm feeling very hopeful that the people that I have in my life right now are people that will lead me in that direction, because they're all so incredible and kind and already open with everybody that I'm really looking forward to exploring this. I also want to work on my confidence and mental health. I've been struggling a lot with self-confidence in the last probably 6 or 7 months, and trying to prioritize my physical health as well as my mental health has been a really big thing for me at the end of 2024, and it's going to be a continued theme in 2025. I just want to put myself first, be a little bit selfish in the new year, and pursue things that make me happy for the long term. The second goal I have for myself in 2025 is to finish a course that I have. I'm currently taking a course for packaging in the brewing and distilling industry. This is like all done online, but it's a school out of London in the UK, and it's been pretty cool so far. I haven't done that much like studying yet, but it's something that I will be taking an exam for in March, I believe. So I need to crack down on that, get studying and complete it and pass it. Obviously that is the goal. So really looking forward to learning in the new year and completing this one. The third goal I have on this list is to go on or at least book one international trip. So if you've seen my other videos, you've probably heard me talk about going to the UK and Scotland at the end of 2025. That is still the goal. I don't know 100% if it's going to pan out just timing wise. And if not, I would at least like to have something booked. And there are a few other places internationally I want to visit. I do want to go back to New Zealand within the next couple of years, so that is also on the list. But I just want to have something booked at some point this year to have something to look forward to, even though I don't feel like I need a trip anymore. Like I don't have that feeling like I need to escape somewhere, but I do want to prioritize seeing parts of the world that I've had on my list for a long time, and really looking forward to that travel and bringing you guys along when it does happen. Now for financial goals, I've only set myself one goal this year because I am Coast Fire. I do work a pretty low paying job. I only make $20 an hour and I live on my own, so expenses are quite high. So my financial goal for this year is to save 5,000 Canadian dollars, same as last year, and I think I will be able to do this. I would like to put 2,000 out of that 5,000 into my RRSP towards retirement, just to kind of like buffer it a little bit now that I am single and doing this on my own. I just want to buffer my retirement savings so that in case anything happens, I have a little bit more peace of mind. So the goal, I guess, is to save about $3,000 outside of that in order to travel. I will be spending that money. That is the plan. I want to save it for future travels. Being Coast Fire means that I don't have to have such a high savings rate to push myself towards early retirement. I do want to retire just at like traditional retirement age of 65 in Canada. And those are my goals for 2025. So let's go ahead and move into some life updates. I do still need to renew the mortgage that I have on the condo here in Calgary. And I've been pushing it off because the interest rates have been changing over the last few months. They've been going down for the most part. So I wanted to talk to like a mortgage broker, get all that sorted. I think I'm going to be doing that in the next few weeks. And then also the rates online versus switching and doing a whole requalifying process for a different mortgage. There's just a lot to figure out. I don't know if I'm going to qualify for another mortgage if I don't just go and renew it at the institution I'm already in, because I will be moving back into that place in a few months. So I don't think it really qualifies as like a rental. Last year I didn't have that much income, so just like using my tax returns and everything. I don't know if it's really the best step for me, but I do at least want to talk to a broker and see what they think, because yeah, I don't want to be paying way more interest than I need to, of course. And either way, I know my payments are going to be going up quite a bit, probably around $150 to $200 more per month. That means my budget is going to have to shrink every month because, as you can see, the last few months I've been overspending in a lot of my categories, specifically entertainment and miscellaneous. So I really need to get that under control in the new year so that I can afford to move back into this condo of mine and not have to move again or sacrifice other things. And really, I've just been feeling incredibly content and happy in life right now. I feel like everything is just falling into place. I feel like this is probably the happiest I've ever been in my life, and having this independence has been so incredibly refreshing, being able to focus on the things that I want and the future that I think is best for myself has been just incredible. I am surrounded by such amazing people. I have my absolute dream job in the world, and so many of my coworkers are just absolutely amazing people. And I've met a few people in the past few months that are new friends, and it's just been amazing. I feel like my 30s have been my best possible years so far in my life, and I know that it's only going to get better from here. So I'm feeling super optimistic for 2025 and everything that's to come. And I wanted to just let you guys know that I'm so thankful for you for being here, for supporting my channel over the last few years. I don't know if you've been here longer than that, but if you were here with me in New Zealand, that's where most of you, I think, had discovered me. I just want to say thank you so much for being here, and it's been a bit of a whirlwind. I am super excited to bring you guys along for every single adventure in 2025, and I hope we just keep getting to connect with each other. I hope I get to meet some of you in person this year. That would be amazing, and thank you all so much. I hope you have an incredible new year, and I will see you guys all really soon in the next one. Bye.